We're losing!
Teamwork, guys. More teamwork.
They're burying us alive!
Well, shit.
Jeez, Louie.
Honey, don't you want to beat those bastards? In my book, we're going to be winners.
Listen, I ain't got nothing left for you to sign, because you're training like a damn bum, you know that?
Screw them.
What are you doing? What are people doing?
Is this early access to?
Hey, let me tell you something, bro.
Get out there now and do the best you can.
And welcome to episode 16 of the Bad Fodder Figures podcast. As always, this is Captain Mike M., joined by all the fellas. And guys, I hope I can remember what to do. It feels like it's been a while since we've recorded, as we did a post-Super Bowl recording. Now, before we kick things off, Matt has been telling me all week that he's been preparing a big speech, how he is the proficient projector of wins.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, is Steubenville, Ohio, near you at all?
Steubenville, yeah, it's up the road a bit.
All right. Well, that's where Jimmy the Greek was from, so it's no surprise. It's in the water.
It's an Ohio thing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, Matt, you know, the floor is all yours to gloat, and just tell it like it is.
Once again, as everyone made fun of me, I was very much correct in my Super Bowl predictions and the winnings and so forth. And that, so that's all I'll say. I'll keep it somewhat humble.
Yep.
You know.
But did we actually make fun of you though?
I think so. Yes, in my mind, yes. I think that stuff was happening.
I mean, we did for the whole Pittsburgh versus Steelers thing. Yeah, I mean,
that's a fact. But
yeah,
yeah.
Well,
I stand by my words.
It was definitely a tough game to watch.
it was a good game to watch, though.
It was a hell of a game.
If you liked offense, it was a good game to watch. Neither team really played great defense. It seemed like maybe each team had one or two punts for the whole game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Patriots just couldn't get that final stop. They got the lead. And I think they actually, they got the lead, and then Philly came right back and scored again. And then you thought Tom was going to do it. You just felt like it was set up as usual, and Philly made the stop when they needed to. So,
Brady did his job though.
What did he have? Close to 500 yards.
Yeah, and like in the first half,
he was slinging the ball all over the place. It was phenomenal. But, the Patriots didn't deserve to win. They played terrible defense. They got exposed. They got through the whole schedule with sort of a makeshift defense. They lost, their main heart and soul linebacker. No, not making excuses. I'm just saying they finally got exposed. They picked them apart with that sort of deke and dunk type offense. So,
But I never counted them out until I saw those zeros on the clock. Because, I was like, here he comes, here it goes. But.
Yeah. And, in
it was exciting.
In Boston, we do not take losing well, and that includes the media. And they've had a field day with this. The hero of the Super Bowl, if you can remember, back when the Patriots beat the Seahawks, and they didn't run the ball with the beast. They decided to throw it. And the guy who intercepted the ball, Malcolm Butler, didn't get to play at all in the Super Bowl. There was some sort of schism between him and Belichick, and this goes back to the beginning of the season where he was looking to be traded, and he was talking to other teams, and he didn't have the greatest year. And I guess he was notified minutes or seconds before the national anthem that he wasn't going to play, and the camera went on him, and he was sobbing left and right. And so the media has had a field day with that, saying, Belichick wanted to win on his own terms, and for the betterment, to the lack of betterment of the team, he was too stubborn to put the guy in to see if he would make a difference, when it counted. So he's been taken to task with that whole thing. And then, we're going to get into toxicity in gaming in just a few minutes here, but this other thing happened in the week here in Boston where some guy got a hold of a phone number of a prominent sports writer in town and decided to text him as Tom Brady's agent. Okay. And he was texting him, and then they had a phone conversation. And the gist of this was to say that, now that Jimmy G's made his money, that Brady's going to be holding out until he gets paid just as much as Jimmy Garoppolo. So the reporter, ran with that story the next morning, and it was on the front and back pages of the Boston Herald. And the guy called up a radio station the next morning and says, I'm going to send you these photos I have of the text correspondence with this guy. And so it was a big to do on the radio until it got exposed as a hoax, and then it became even a bigger thing. So long story short here, we do not take losing well. And if you can imagine, some guy wants to sit at home, find a reporter's phone number, and then try to ruin the guy's professional career. He's been suspended indefinitely for not, fact-checking and things like that. So it's a statement where we... And then some other sports radio guy, this will sort of tie into what we're going to talk about in a little bit here with Twitch, was sort of then mocking Brady's agent because he's an Asian man, but he's born in California, so he doesn't talk Asian or anything like that. Sounds like all of us here that are born in the country. And the guy decided to do some sort of over the top Asian accent. Now he's been suspended indefinitely. So,
wow.
it has just been a shit show around here with the whole thing. Again, we do media. Everybody, we don't take losing gracefully here.
Because you're not used to
it. Yeah, really. Now, has the media come out, calling for anyone in the Patriots organization to resign or go away or anything like that? Are they talking about anything like that? The team needs to move on, the dynasty's over, or anything like that? Well,
the other big story that dropped this week is that McDaniels walked away from the Colts job at the very last minute. They had a handshake agreement. And so, no one's here is saying Belichick should retire or anything like that, or Brady. I mean, how could you say Brady needs to retire? How many touchdowns and passing yards did he have in the Super Bowl? Does he look like a guy that needs to retire?
No.
So no one is going that extreme, but there is some sort of is Bill going to retire now? Is that why Josh stuck on and things like that? So that type of conversation is happening.
But I mean, if you're looking at it from my eyes, like the Redskins, I mean, you guys go to the Super Bowl every year, okay? Whether you win or lose, but you go every year, okay? Why are we even talking about? Hey, let's move it on. No, chances are you're gonna go to the Super Bowl next year. Chances are.
That's what when winning happens, people always can't figure it out. They just can't put their trust in that hard work, preparation, and talent is good enough. They have to look at other things. And sure, the Patriots have done some things to cast some sort of doubt on themselves, but people are always trying to, pick away at it. So,
what's the contract left on Brady and Bill?
I think Bill has a contract that he has a deal in his contract that if someone, like if you tomorrow get hired to coach a team, right, Matt, your head coach, and they give you $50 million for 1 year, he has a stipulation in his contract that he'll get $51 million. That he'll always be the highest paid coach, which I think
Jesus Christ,
which I think is there's been 50 some odd Super Bowls and he's been a part of 11 of them, at least 11 that I can count. So he deserves to be paid. Brady, I think he's got maybe 2 or 3 years left on his deal. He's going to get paid $22 million next year. So, but wow. I think all the credit goes to Philly. They came up with a great game plan, and the defense made the stop when they needed to. Even though I didn't like the outcome, the credit should go towards them 100%. What was I going to go with that? Oh, this week I had an exciting a Twitch stream, a very short stream that Matt was part of. I got raided by some friends, right? Anybody know what a raid is? When you get raided on Twitch, a whole bunch of people from another stream. The streamer doesn't decide to host you; he decides to automatically send everybody over. It's called a raid. And so that happened. I thought everything was going swimmingly. And then Mark and I think Bibbs came into the chat and said, we can't hear anybody else. We only hear you. And I was like, son of a bitch. I must have sounded like a madman to those people just having like a conversation by myself. And so Matt was saying, where's your checklist? And this is a very appropriate. I have a checklist for when I stream. I have a checklist for work. I got to log in at a certain time. I got to log into payroll. I got to log into VPN and various security apps on my phone before I can start my day. Well, I have a new checklist, gentlemen. So the other night, the wife and I were bumping uglies, and we got done with that. And when you get ready for a sleep, right, a deep sleep, you like sort of like. How do I say this? You sort of tuck yourself in. You do that like big like with the blankets or sheets or whatever.
Yeah,
sort of like
you get situated.
You get situated, right? So now I need to know that I need to let her get situated before I get situated, because what happened here is we both got situated at the same time, facing each other. And she headbutted me into my nose, and I swear to God, I thought I had a broken nose. And how was I going to tell people that we were getting situated and I got headbutted and broke my nose? So how many different things do I need a checklist for in life?
You soon you have one for when you get out of bed.
Oh my God.
What really happened? Did you walk into a door, fell down some stairs? What? Do you feel safe at home?
No,
I like the bump and ugly story and the situation. I like that. Sounds good.
If you know me in my life, that is exactly 100% the truth. Fucking headbutted me so hard, I was seeing stars. I was like, you gotta be kidding me! Break my nose just getting situated.
I see, my wife and I can't go to bed at the same time. It's either her first or me first. We can't go to bed at the same time because there's too much, like you. There's too much moving going around there. There's too much happening there. So usually she's in bed first, and then I'll get into bed and get myself situated. And she always loves when I get into bed because I let out the biggest fart ever whenever we get into bed. She's like, "Oh my God, could you have just done? You just in the bathroom? Could you have done it there?" I was like, "No, I wasn't relaxed or anything. I got into bed, got relaxed, and I had to let one fly here." So.
So you don't even get into bed. You just like wait till she's done, and then you get in.
You watch her like over, like you put your mat like standing over. Are you done yet? Are you done?
Yeah, what happens when you get into bed at the same time? Like, is it just madness and anarchy and blankets and pillows flying all over?
It is. Everyone's, we're both grabbing the blankets and pillows are being thrown around because she's got like 20 pillows on the goddamn bed. And it's just all this bull crap going on. So she'll go to bed first, and then I'll go and get into bed and kind of huddle on my one side of the bed there and be done with it.
I am a pillow hoarder. I sleep with 3 pillows, 2 for my head, and then I hug this other pillow. I don't really hug it, but I start off the night like using it as an armrest or some sort of thing. But by the end of the night, it's probably on the floor or something. But I do like my pillows.
I got 2 pillows, and they're my pillows. No one should try and take them. I love my little pillows.
Are they flat like a pancake?
One's fatter than the other. Yeah, one's pretty fat. It's like the base pillow. Now I've got my fluffy pillow that goes on top of that. So
I guess I'm a weirdo. I don't do any of those things.
Just go to bed. I got one pillow. I put my head on it and I go to sleep.
Jeremy, I got one pillow. Now it's a great pillow. It's one of those pillows that man advertises on TV. That's a great pillow, actually. Yeah, I got one of those, and I just get into the covers and go to bed. That's it.
There's a ritual for going to bed. I got, get in bed. I kind of get in my little groove spot there, and just.
And chances are, I'm trying to probably do something to my wife. I don't know. I'm more than likely. I'm trying to, but that's it. And just go to sleep. Yeah. Do you guys go right to sleep, or does it take you time to go to sleep?
It depends. Depends on the night. Depends on what I was just doing a few minutes. I mean, if it's post-sex, I'm out like 2 minutes later.
Usually for me, post sex, I'm ready to start, playing games again or something, or go get a beer. Or hell yeah, I'm usually all jacked up after sex.
Oh no way! I'm the opposite.
Wow.
Now my wife, she's gone. She's done. She's out like a light after sex.
Matt be putting in the work.
Hell yeah. That's what happens when you create them puddles. You drain them. They makes them go to bed.
Oh my God! Please, let's move on. Now, Jeremy, you're not going to get out of this scot-free. You had some snow this week.
Yeah. Was it Wednesday? I think Wednesday.
Jeremy, do you have blue sweatpants?
No.
Oh, who was that shoveling? I looked at these pictures here. I thought that was you. I want in my mind. I think that's you, but it's not you.
No, they're black. They're black sweatpants.
They look blue.
Yeah.
I'm admiring your shoveling technique in this photo. I know the other guys can't see this here. You have great disdain for the snow. You're looking down at the snow with such hatred with your white sneakers on and your sweatpants. No gloves, though. I noticed you have no gloves in this photo. It wasn't that cold.
No, and it doesn't take that long to shovel. It was just the dry. When the picture you're talking of, like, I don't think I was like actively shoveling snow with the shovel at that point. I might have been resting or something. I don't know, but
it's a great. I'm gonna have to send it to the guys later. But I just noticed that you, as a man here who deals with much snow, I just admired your form here when you were shoveling. So
yeah.
And the kids had no school that day. Both you guys had no.
Nope. Well, I had to work from home, which turns out when you work from home, you get to do stuff on your lunch break, like shovel the snow, rather than actually have a lunch break. So it ends up being more work to work from home sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah,
that sucks.
And you got to let the man know that you're going outside in case anything goes on. You can reach me in a few minutes. I got to shovel some snow, but. Well, it's good that your kids got to enjoy the snow because you guys probably don't get a lot out there, and they look like they were having fun making snow angels or snowmen or whatever they were doing out there. They look like they were having a good time.
Yep.
We had ice, and I know Matt said they got some ice as well.
Yeah, we had ice. Yeah, it was bad. I'd rather have had the snow than the ice. It was nasty.
All right, well, let's segue into the show here a little bit. Twitch, gentlemen, is making some changes, and maybe they're trying to get in line with sort of what YouTube is doing these days. But let's talk a little bit about things. I mean, we can all, I think, we have many different opinions here, outlooks on life, but I think we can all agree that when there's intent behind hate, racism, there's no place for that, right? I mean, that seems to be like knowledge, basic 101 type stuff, right? So,
Correct.
They're what they are, though, is they're cracking down on what they're calling toxicity, hatred, racism, things like that. And as I'm reading through this, it all seems like on the surface that it's a good idea. But what I'm a little concerned with here is they have a line in this document or blog post that they put out there. They say, even if you're just joking with your friends, you're still choosing to stream on a service that reaches a large audience. Now, what I'm worried about there is we go out there and stream the other night, right? And one of us didn't have any legs, right? The character they created, we're just goofing around, having fun. What if someone gets a hold of that and says, you know what, I got a friend, a relative, or myself as a disabled person, and here's a guy walking around with no legs and thinking it's funny, and then they report it to Twitch. And it just seems to me like there's a slippery slope here, crying wolf thing that can come out. So I'm hoping that there's going to be some sensibility in their decisions here. You guys have any, as streamers yourselves and viewers of streams, any sort of opinions on these changes that are coming in place, or you think it's just a safety net to cover their ass, so to speak?
I'm sure they're trying to cover their ass, but I mean, also it seems a bit ridiculous if there was someone to take that what happened, the other night with Jeremy and his no legs, and take that a little bit too far with someone who actually had no legs. I mean, there's got to be some common sense somewhere in there, but it seems like here lately, everyone just knee-jerk reactions to everything, and just they don't take a minute to step back and the whole context of something. Maybe I don't know, but and I think I saw somewhere, Mike, too, that it said that even you might be responsible for the people in your stream also saying stuff and doing things also. Not right. Just you as a streamer, but also the people in your stream misbehaving and so forth. Is that correct?
So you need to make sure you have mods in place, and if you don't have mods, then you need to make sure that you're policing, the stuff that comes in there. You should have the ability to ban or mute people or say, hey, knock it off. Just can't let it fly and be agreeable to it.
Yeah, because a lot of people, seems like to me, they like to shock and do crazy stuff to get views.
Right.
Like that one guy, I don't even know his name, but he went to that Suicide Forest and showed that.
Yeah, the YouTube guy.
That's not necessary. You know what I'm saying? But he's getting views, and I guess that's money. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think YouTube has to rein it in somewhat.
Right. What I am afraid of, and this is just, the internet has spiraled out of control, and what happens when you try to control the internet, or just let's say try to control Twitch, I think what's going to happen is people are going to take that as a challenge, right? That people are even going to go try to go more over the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the streamers necessarily, but I think the people that go in there, the viewers, well, let's just all go into such and such stream and act like a bunch of donkeys and see if we can get them suspended or, something like that. But Twitch is also going to be doing another thing, and they say they're not going to be actively watching this stuff, but they're going to be, relying on, I guess, a variety of sources, and of course they need to be credible sources. But let's say that two streamers are having an argument on Twitch, and then it escalates over to YouTube or Twitter or whatever else it may boil over to, that they're going to take those decisions, those actions into their decisions as well. So it's not just what happens in Twitch that they're going to be looking at, but there could be outside factors too. Mm-hmm. So Matt, if you get into a streamer war on Twitter with someone, Twitch could be knocking and saying, sorry, Devious Mr. Matt, but your account is indefinitely suspended.
I will fight that to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, to me, this seems like just a safety net for them to be able to distance themselves when they need to. I don't think they care about my magic legs that I was sporting the other night. I think they're more of like a Dr. Disrespect drops the N-word or something like that, and so they can just at that point say, "Oh no, we're done with you." And I mean, they ban any of us for anything. Okay, well, I've got this free account that I created that I'm not actively making money on. This it doesn't hurt my livelihood to go and change and make a new account with a new email address or something like that. So, yeah, I think this is just more for them a CYA move.
I think there's a lot of people out there, not just in Twitch, but there's a lot of people out there right now that are just, whoever sort of makes the loudest noise about something, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's, they should be speaking out or something or not. It seems like right now, the more noise you can make about something, you'll certainly be heard, and then these things. So I could see someone, a small streamer, having a bad night and say something and then get reported and sort of escalate. But I think for the large point, you're on board there. So, go ahead.
I didn't read this particular article, but I saw somebody on Twitter, I think, mentioning something about, and I don't know how accurate this is, about girls having to have shirts that are closed up to their. Was that something totally unrelated? Or?
There is a dress code now on Twitch, gentlemen.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
The next time Matt decides to wear the coconut shells on his moobs, you could be in trouble. So, attire and gaming streams. This is I'm reading right from it. Attire and gaming streams, most at-home streams, and all profile channel imagery should be appropriate for a public street, mall, or restaurant. As a reminder, we will not tolerate using this policy as a basis to harass streamers on or off Twitch, regardless of whether you think they're breaking this rule. So what they're trying to get at is here, what you call them, titty streamers, booby streamers, or whatever. Sometimes they just go in a bikini. Sometimes they have something that says squats for subs, right? So the girl will say, you want me, I can entice you to subscribe to me. I'll start doing some squats for you. Or they have multiple.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I saw one lady. She had paint. She just painted her breast and top and was on stream like that.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll have multiple cameras, so they'll have one for their face, maybe one for what game they're playing, and then a breast cam.
That's what you need.
You know. So they're gonna be. I think they're gonna be cracking down on that stuff as well. My opinion with that is, because a lot of streamers are like, well, that's just taking these people that would be in my channel, and they're taking away views. And
Oh God.
I don't think the guy that engages with a booby streamer is going to be coming into your stream to watch you play CS:GO and PUBG.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No matter how good you are at that game, I think there's very little crossover there. But there's been enough. Again, there's been enough complaints that I think they feel obligated to do something. I'm not sure what you guys feel about this. Certainly want to hear from you. But for me, if it's two consenting adults and one guy wants to watch the other one, or the woman wants to watch the woman, the guy wants to watch the woman, vice versa, I don't have a problem with that. Maybe there needs to be a stricter age gate on these things, if that's their angle. They don't want kids, getting into these accounts. Where there's a will, there's a way. Even if you put an age gate, people can get by it, but maybe it needs to be something a little bit more solid. I don't know how you do that. I'm not a programmer or a security expert, but maybe they need to think about that. But do you guys agree that, hey, if it's just two adults and she's not getting naked completely and she's not doing anything pornographic, what's the problem here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think they should have those streams marked as mature, and you can't get into it unless you log in. Of course, you got supposed to be use your real age and stuff when you log in. So, or somehow.
But it's just going to be somebody pushing the limit, though.
Right.
That's all it's going to be.
I guess back in November there was this guy who was calling all these women sluts and everything like that, and that there was Twitch started out as a place where gamers and nerds could hang out, and this was a place that we could feel safe in because the beautiful girls didn't like us in school, and this is where we could hang out, and now the beautiful girls are coming here and stealing our money and streams. And so he got suspended, I think, 5 days for calling people sluts, and some other woman came on and started masturbating on her stream, and only got a 24-hour suspension. So that sort of opened up a whole nother can of worms there. But I don't know. In this day and age with so much going on, I don't know if Twitch needs to be such a big uproar over things. Just adults being adults. People are always going to screw something up, whether it's a Twitch stream, a sporting event, a political rally, or whatever.
I think anywhere where you add a video to something, you're going to have issues with that. Look at PlayStation. What is it? PlayStation Now, whatever, or PlayStation Home or whatever.
Yeah, whatever that thing was they first launched.
Yeah, that and the whole Xbox Uno game.
Yeah. That
was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I've never seen any of that, but I guess I could go to YouTube and find shit like that.
If that's your thing, Mike. If you want to look at.
I used to have a lot of people smoking weed and chicks showing their boobs on Uno. I remember that.
Yeah, it was like Uno was just like the conduit to other nefarious shit going down, right?
Yeah.
So like Uno was the car that would drive to the brothel or the drug dealer or something like that, and I think send me 20,000 Xbox points, and I'll send you some nudes, or I'll flash boobs on the thing or something like that. All right. Anybody else have any other feelings about Twitch? I know, Matt, you've been doing more of that stuff. Do you feel Twitch is safe for you, Matt? Do you feel when you go there that it's a welcome community and no one is being sexually suggestive in your streams, and you feel safe?
I average about 2 viewers, so yeah, I feel pretty safe right now.
And one of them's your bot.
Yeah, exactly. One of them's my bot, and one of them's usually Jay or Mark. So hey, thanks, guys.
Well, before we get into the voicemails, we do have a question of the week this week, gentlemen, and it is very apropos with the sex talk that we just had and the holiday that's coming up this week and Valentine's Day. So,
nice.
This is from Mafia Thug, and he wants to know what do we do for Valentine's Day? And he says that him and his wife have a mutual agreement not to do anything, and that he ends up always breaking that agreement at the end and getting her something, and then Latina gets upset because she looks like a fool because she didn't get him anything. So let's go around here and discuss what everybody does for Valentine's Day. I know Matt goes to great lengths to do a lot of things. So, Matt, why don't you kick it off and tell us how you roll on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I usually roll out of bed, go to work, and come home. There's nothing special. I'll probably get some flowers for the wife, get a card. We don't go all out with the fancy, smancy dinners and all that stuff. Every once in a while we do go out to dinner, but it's pretty boring, actually.
I thought you would she'd get home from work and there would just be petals in the driveway, rose petals leading all the way up to the bedroom. And
you know how much that would cost?
Everything covered in plastic.
Yeah.
It's like a crime scene from Dexter.
I'm looking at Valentine's. This year, Valentine's Day is on a Wednesday, and she is off on Wednesday night, so who knows what'll happen there. It could be quite interesting.
Little Cupid arrow's going to come out.
Yeah, I might do the little put the little diaper on and with
quickly. Let's go to someone else. Let's go to someone else.
Put it on Twitch.
IRL
in real life.
Yeah, Jeremy, I know you probably go great lengths as well. You Ohio guys are just fucking a bunch of wild maniacs when it comes to romance. So lay it on me what you guys do.
It's not so much. It's not anything. No big fanfare. It's one of our 4 dates a year that we talk about. We get each of our birthdays, our anniversary, and Valentine's Day. So that's when we have her mother on lockdown for a date to go out. So it's actually Saturdays when we're going out because, like Matt said, it's Wednesday. That's a stupid day. But her mom gets around the house about noon. We take off, usually go get some sushi, go see a movie, go see a dinner. And because we're old and boring at this point, we normally let's go ahead and get the grocery store out of the way. So that way we can just relax all day tomorrow. That's usually, it's one of our 4 times a year that we get to just get out of the house with no kids and spend time with each other. So.
Oh, nice.
Color me shocked. I thought for sure you were going to say, it's just another day of the week and we don't do anything.
Nah, I picked up her chocolate-covered strawberries today. So that's the one thing she likes.
Didn't get me anything.
That's what's up.
Bravo.
Jeez. That look like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I know, Eric, Mr. Romance over here is going to lay it on thick. Here we go, Eric. I wish I thought of this in advance. I'd have some soothing music for you. Do your best Barry White for us.
Well, I hate to pop all your bubbles. There's nothing to see here, there, guys.
It's just Valentine's 24/7, 365.
We're stripping and waxing.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is all the time. We don't have to do anything. We don't do anything special. Like if my wife says, "Hey, I want to go out to dinner," then I'll take her out to dinner. Or tomorrow, if she wants to go out to dinner, I'll take her out to dinner. But it doesn't matter. It's all the time, bro. It's constant. So
Eric just
and my wife is like, let me let y'all know something about my wife. My wife is like a guy. She don't look like a guy, but she has the mentality of a guy. Mm-hmm. Now she doesn't want no damn flowers because she said, "What's the point of that?" Because they die and it's cut flowers. She don't like that. She don't like stuffed animals, so don't do that. Right. So she doesn't.
She's like a guy. I know what I'm like as a guy, and I know what these other hornballs is like. Does that work out as well?
Yeah, in certain aspects of the whole guy thing, yep, that works out. And
wow.
And then she's like cool, man. She has a dude's mentality, whereas she doesn't sit there and stress about, hey, did you get me a piece of jewelry? My wife could care less because she knows if she wants something, she could just go get it or tell me what she wants. That's how that works. It's not. We don't roll like that. When you've been through enough BS in your life, bro, you ain't got to go.
You ain't got time for. No one got time for that.
Ain't got time for that.
Oh,
so she's like cool in the gang, bro.
Well, I guess me and Matt are simpatico here. Just another day. And I already ordered the flowers, so
That's nice stuff, though. And I thought at first, like for the first couple years we got together, that she was just saying that, Nah, bro. It's for real. She's not just saying it.
So the first couple of years, you still went all out because you were afraid if you didn't do anything, the shoe was going to drop and be like, "What the hell?"
I was overthinking it, and she was like, "Look, I thought I told you, man. No, I don't dig this." She said, "Do you ever see me with any kind of flowers anywhere?" No, because I don't like cut flowers. You want to buy me something? Buy me a plant. Buy me a tree or something.
buy me a
Christmas tree.
Christmas.
Yeah, but cut flowers, bro. She's like, it's pointless.
Well, we wish everybody out there a happy Valentine's Day, whether you celebrate or not, whether you have someone to share with it or not. And if you don't, go on Twitch and find a booby streamer and wish her a happy Valentine's Day, or him,
or him,
or him. There you go.
That's right. All right. Well, we got a slew of voicemails this week, so why don't we get right to it?
Operator, may I help you? Operator?
Are you the operator?
I'm long distance, sir. Overseas, may I help you? Directory assistance, may I help you, please?
Hello. Hello again. Hello. Hello again.
All right, so as I said, we have a bunch of voicemails, some familiar, some not, and some new. Matt, why don't you give out the number first?
Yeah, 508-659-BFFS. 508-659-BFFS.
And Matt, since you did that beautiful job with that, why don't you tell me if you want something old, something new, or someone brand familiar?
Am I getting married? What the hell is it? Something
something old, new, or borrowed?
Let's go with borrowed.
Borrowed. I don't know who would be considered borrowed, but
Blue? Can we try blues? There we go.
Blue.
Is Blue going?
Dylan here, D. Rogers calling back.
You asked for
I
it.
don't have last week for the call last week, but I'm going on again. So pardon me, and I do apologize for my long calls. I just get a little excited because it's weird. Because isn't it weird that I like to hear my own voice? Anyway, what's up, Eric? Matt, Ruiner, Whiskey, Slasher, Mike.
What?
Mount Rushmore. I want to do that again. Let me redo that. So I got Brady, Breeze, Kobe Bryant, Muhammad Ali, and
There's only
Derek
4 people
Jeter.
on there.
Even though I like Boston. He's one of the best to ever do it. That's sports. Games, I have the Witcher series, Mass Effect, Halo, Gears, and
There's only 4.
Grand Theft Auto.
He's got someone sitting on top of them.
Movies, I have the Harry Potter one. I
Jesus.
have Fast and
I
Furious.
don't think he knows what Mount Rushmore is.
Now he's talking about the Great Wall
The
of
Two
China.
Nights Museum, and I have. Let's see what else do I have? Oh, that's
It's not just a
hard.
top 5 list.
I'll just leave it at that for the movies. TV shows: Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Travelers, Flash.
Matt, you're the secretary of the show. You're writing all this down, right?
What else?
What does Game of Thrones look like?
Travelers,
Mount Rushmore.
Oh, I hope it's what's
Just
your
the
name?
throne.
Z Nation. There we go. Those are my 3 to 4 different Mount Rushmore. So hit me up and tell me if you've seen any of those or watched those before. Z Nation is hilarious. It's like a more upbeat version of Walking Dead, so it's hilarious. So that'll look. And this hurts a lot, but hey, you really can't take anything away from the Eagles because they played awesomely. Do you notice one thing in my voice? I am not crying. I'm not pissed. It's whatever. We were just.
Was he crying? I didn't even.
You can't be too upset or too spiteful because we were just won it last year. Now, if they didn't win it last year and they went into this one fresh, then it would probably suck. But hey, they played better. Nick Foles. I didn't think he would be that good, but hey, Nick Foles, half off team, man. Just some of the fans don't deserve it. I mean, they're greasing up Foles. They're throwing this around. They're cussing people out. Like, no, I know it's your first one, but act like you've been there before. Oh wait, before now you haven't. So, whatever. Good game. We'll be in it next year. Hightower's coming back. Burkhead, Edelman, Malcolm Mitchell, Cooks, Britt,
Gonna name everybody.
hopefully. Dwayne Allen,
Tower, Mahoney,
Martellus Bennett,
Helmer.
will be back. So there's no
Lions.
reason to believe they won't be back in it, at least at some point next year. So yeah, and by the way, pardon me, but fuck the Dolphins, and we're...
What?
What they do?
We're not ordinary people. We're morons.
He got cut off again.
I said Dolphins.
Yeah, that's just okay.
What did the Dolphins come in? What was that about?
Did he mean the team, or does he mean like Flipper go to hell, or I don't quit getting caught in those nets? I
think he was talking about the team. I think I don't know.
Well, since he's from Florida, let's hear from another guy from Florida.
What's up, guys? This is Los. I'm still painting, by the way. It's been like 10 weeks, something like that. I lost count. Yeah, I'm still in the house, closing up shop now, and I want to let you guys know about a dream I had. I had a dream, and I think I'm blaming you guys because I don't have anything to do with it. But I had a dream, right? I was going to work. I was late for work, and I was walking, and I'm like, I gotta get something to eat. I gotta have lunch. And I saw a hot dog cart on the side of the road. And it's a city, it's whatever, it's normal for a hot dog cart. So I go to order, and the guy at the hot dog cart is your boy, Dr. Disrespect. and I'm like,
yeah.
All right, I know you, but I need a hot dog. So, he was there just, sticking hot dogs. And I guess it was like a side gig or something.
What the fuck is going on?
And I got there, I was by myself. But I took a little bit too long to order because I wasn't sure what he had on the menu. And I looked at him last night. I'm like, damn, you can make some good hot dogs or something. And yeah, he was just like trying to be patient with me because I didn't know what I wanted to order. And yeah, that was my dream that I had. So you guys, what's a cool video game related dream that you've had? Let me know, and I look forward to listening again. Have a good show. Peace out.
Why is his Dr. Disrespect Wiener dream our fault?
Yeah.
Because Matt talks about hot dogs with Fred French, and I talk about Dr. Disrespect.
Okay,
that's I'm just piecing it together like that.
The dream needs more analyzing. I think there's some other meanings to the stream with hot dogs, Dr. Disrespect.
Do any of you guys, when you play scary games, get nightmares the following night or the week during the week? Is that something that's happened to you guys?
Nah.
I mean, I get nightmares a lot, but I don't think anything is from the gaming I do. I don't think. Yeah, I can't recall any video game related dreams.
Go ahead, Mike.
I know, Jeremy, you and your wife watch a lot of horror movies, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cheesier the better, maybe. Do you get any
sometimes?
Just any dreams from that?
No, and as far as games, like I've never that I recall had a dream about a game. Like I know I've had dreams where like if I've been playing a game a lot, then like I'll probably dream about it, or maybe something about the game mechanics might be in a dream or something like that. But no, there's been a few times or a few movies that kind of freaked my wife out. Where she had to, like, she wouldn't just walk upstairs by herself in the dark. She wanted me to go with her and stuff like that. Just, I mean, obviously, nothing's going on, and it's not every time. It's just been a few times. But, yeah, I can't think of a time where anything like that really made that big of an impact where I got to blame a podcast for it.
Now, Matt, have you ever dreamed you were like, Geralt with the Batman voice and just riding Roach?
Yeah, my long flowing locks in the wind. Yeah, I'm sure that's what my wife dreams.
I can't believe it's about her. She'd probably Fabio.
Matt's dream about Roach. Roach.
Well, I know our Matt, our buddy Chewy from across the pond. He doesn't like to play scary games, but he's playing Hunt Showdown, which is a new game by Crytek that's in closed alpha right now, and it's got some pretty scary characters. And he said he just like clockwork, he had nightmares last night about it.
Poor Chewy.
Poor Chewy. All right, who else? Let's see. Let's hear from someone we've never heard from before via a voicemail.
What up, Fodder Figures? This is Bibbs, and this shit's long distance, so I gotta be quick. I know I missed Jim on the call about the Rushmore, but I got my own. I got Gretzky, of course. Gotta have Gretzky, the greatest one ever. I'm gonna say Terry Fox. If you guys don't know who Terry Fox is, a young man in the back in the '80s, had cancer, ran halfway across Canada, kind of halfway. Didn't make it all the way, died of cancer, but his foundation has raised almost $1 billion for cancer research. Who do we got next? Rosie the Riveter. That's who I'm going to throw up there. Very inspirational to women back in the 40s, 50s, and they aren't out.
Jeremy will debunk that in just a minute.
Gord Downey, the national treasure. May God rest his soul. Anyways, that's all I got.
Who's the last one?
We'll get to it.
Yeah, like we jumped the place. Okay, catch you later. Yeah.
So he said this call at least cost him 15 cents. So hope it was worth it.
I'll send him a nickel.
He said Gord Downey. So there's a band out there from Canada called Tragically Hip. I guess they were Canada's most beloved Canadian band. And so he recently passed away, I think, last year. And the whole country went in mourning. I guess you could equate it to when maybe John Lennon was murdered, and he wasn't a U.S. artist. Of course, the Beatles were from England, but he sort of made his residence in New York City for a while, and the country went in mourning when he was killed. I guess you could kind of say the same thing, And that type of love for that performer. I'm not familiar with Rosie the Riveter. Is that her name? Is that how you said?
Yeah, you seen the picture though with her arm up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you seen.
Gotcha.
Famous back around World War II.
Mm-hmm. Everybody has some pretty cool lists though.
I mean, that was very pro-Canadian
more
on
than
that.
others, but
Bibbs wears his maple leaf on the sleeve for sure. He is Canadian proud, Canadian strong.
Well, good for him.
And he had a question for us that he threw out on Discord as well. And he wants to know when we're going to have a live video podcast that people can watch and listen and contribute, I guess, all at the same time. I don't know when that would happen. We've had discussions about that.
I heard it costs like $65 a month, so I don't know if we could do it. But
yeah, Jeremy is our... Matt is the secretary of the show, so he's taking, copious notes right now. And Jeremy is the treasurer of the podcast, and so he, makes sure this content is free. This content goes behind a paywall. So we'll see if Jeremy will lift the paywall so we can have a video show that everybody can contribute to.
Man, my Quicken's going off now. Yeah.
All right. This person, I don't think has called in before.
Hey, what's up, Bad Fodder Figures? This is Maximus Prime. Used to be a podcaster on a Battlefield podcast, on a Mojo gaming podcast. I know some of you guys put on Twitter and stuff like that. Anyway, sweet excuse, I'm driving in my car right now. But something just hit me. So all of you, the way I understand it, are fathers and married and all that kind of stuff. I used to podcast, love it, but I have a 2.5-year-old and a 5-year-old, and my wife is like, absolutely not, you're not doing that kind of thing. And so I've had to set it to the side, and it's killing me. So I wanted to see if you guys had any suggestions, any advice, anything that I could try to throw over my wife's head so that she would, get blinded by that knowledge, right? And let me jump back on the mic and do podcasts like you all do. So anyway, loving the new show, great format. Y'all are knocking it out of the park. You do need to scrub some of these phone calls, though, man. Some of these cats be just talking gibberish, jabberish, crazy stuff. Loving it, guys. Glad you
I have no idea what he's talking about.
And,
I like that dude.
Until next time.
Prime.
Keep it real. Peace.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Who knows?
It's weird.
I try to
must have got us confused with somebody else.
That was funny.
I try to be
all right.
I try to be surprised with these voicemails, so I don't listen to them ahead of time. I listen to who it is, so I can label them correctly and things like that. But I want to hear it for the first time with you guys. But maybe I should take Maximus's advice. And,
that was cool.
If I could answer his question first, certainly we'll hear from you guys as well. I think where we are now with the BFF podcast is very much different than our other podcasts. Well, maybe Matt, not with Matt so much. I think Dad's Getting Grounded and Gamers in Beta took a lot more of our time than I would say this does. I think 40cast is more similar to this, Matt. You just decided to do your editing right before you release the show, or I do the editing right after the show. So what I would say to your wife, if you're just going to be kind of trying to do it like this, that you should say to your wife, I deserve 90 minutes of free time during the week at one point. And if I can't have 90 minutes of free time, then what are we really doing with our relationship? Because if you can't let me get behind a microphone for 90 minutes, then there's some other problems you got in your life. Right? If she can't release the thumb for 90 minutes, then I don't know what's going on. It's the way I would look at it.
Well, she's probably, and Jeremy could probably speak to this more. She's probably bogged down. He said he got a 2 and a 5-year-old. She's probably at her wit's end.
How many hours are in a week?
Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. I'm with you, but explaining that to somebody who's probably batshit crazy with a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Yeah, if you're going to his wife batshit crazy.
If you're going to try to do stuff on a grander scale, then sure, it takes up a lot more time. But if we're just talking about something on this level, from where I sit and I do the planner, I do the editing, I gather up all the voicemails. I think in total it maybe takes up 3 hours a week, and that includes actually doing the show. So.
Well, maybe his is timing. Maybe he's trying to do it like in the smack dab middle of the day,
right?
When we podcast in the evenings, and and maybe the kids would be down at that time. Or something.
That's what I was going to piggyback off of Mike there, because it's saying the same thing in a different way, I guess. And maybe I don't, when you did your podcast before, was it at 5 o'clock in the evening and it took you 3 hours and you were hooting and hollering and everything else, or is it something like what we do, like Eric just said? Anytime the majority of the time I play games, I do podcasts or whatever, it's after my kids are in bed. My kids are in bed around 8:30 every night. I go to bed somewhere around 11:30, 12. So that gives me 3 hours a night. Do it when the kids aren't an issue, if that's her excuse. And also, it's your wife, dude. Talk to your wife and say, hey, look, this is something that's important to me. This is something that I want to do for me for whatever reason, whatever. If she still has a problem with it, then I think there's a deeper issue going on there. But there's ways around the kids' part, clearly.
And I think I think everybody's wives would have us much rather sit here doing a podcast than being out at a bar. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. This can be worse than
tail.
Yeah, my wife's like, "What are you doing tonight?" I'm like, "Turn on Twitch and you can find out." There's no secret.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I'm going over here and I'm gonna go do this and I'm gonna see you in the morning.
Right.
That ain't gonna work out.
Well, since we were just talking about husbands and wives, isn't this a perfect segue here? Let's hear from a BFF power couple. And since Valentine's is this week, let's kick it off with the wife.
Hey guys, it's Latina Mafia. Wow, it's been a minute since I've actually had the time to call and say hi and what's up and shout out to all of you guys and my veteran gamers and monkeys and everybody else. Okay, so the whole new Twitch updates and policy.
I never heard of
I kind of have an issue with the whole you need to cover up your tatas and dress up like a nun and, be covered up to the neck. I think that's pushing things too far in some things and, just more controlling of our lives. But, I get they have issues and situations with the girls out there with, no control of their girls and half their nips are showing with their cleavage. But I think if it's decently covered up, cleavage. I don't think there's any harm in it. I mean, they're only breasts. They're full of milk to feed your babies, and
Jumblies.
Lord knows how they're toys for you boys. But, you know,
Get the strangest
that's just my
erection
thing.
right now.
I keep my girls under control. No, no sitting there putting them all out for the whole world to see. But, you know, sometimes there's just cleavage there, and that's what happens. You know, those poor girls just sitting there, you know, covered up. But, yeah, just a little insight on that. But I love you guys, and hopefully we'll talk again soon. Catch you later.
All right. The best voicemail ever.
I know, right?
Maybe I should
Liven
listen to
up
these
the
things
spot.
before. I could have played that while we were talking about that.
Well, I, for one, encourage Latina Mafia to get on Twitch and defy their rules and regulations and just see how it goes.
Matt's going to be a tier 3 subscriber.
Yep.
And that mafia thug will come after you.
He'll be in North Dakota. It's too far to go to Ohio. All right, let's hear from her, I guess, her better half. So where is
Watch him say the opposite.
Fuck, I must not have put him on the board. So while Mafia, while I'm getting yours, let's hear from this guy.
Bad Fodder Figures. Gentlemen, another week, another show, and of course, another phone call. From the
Sounds
one,
good now.
the only, Double F. Gentlemen, this week I come to you with a question. I'm in the market for a new gaming headset. Just want to get some input on what you guys use. There's one brand you like more, another brand that you've tried or heard that was something you should stay away from. So that's what I'm looking for, gentlemen, some input on a gaming headset for the Xbox, PlayStation. Don't really play on the PC, so, I mean, if it works that way, fine, but don't really need any input that way. Just mostly looking for something that'll roll with the Xbox or something that'll roll with the PlayStation. And just a little off thing of that question, gentlemen. When you are playing, are you die-hard headset wearers? You know, like when you're home alone, you know, you're in the room alone, and not like you're online, it's just even a single-player game, you still throw the headset on to try to be immersed in the game, or you just kind of throw on the TV and turn the volume up a little bit and enjoy it that way? Just wondering about that, gentlemen, if, you know, you're very immersed, you'll wear the headset die-hard, or if you're just like, only online, I put it on. Thanks for the time, gentlemen. Enjoy your week. Great show as always. And I will leave you with this. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Well, Fred, I would say if I'm home alone and I'm playing games, that's what happened. The pants are around the ankles, and I'm trying to... yeah, anybody? Well, Jeremy, you should be the one to go on this.
I was going to go after you because I was going to wait and go after you because I think you're more the answer he's looking for because you have way more experience with them, with ones that I think people are used to buying versus the ones that I get. So
Mike is a headphone aficionado.
Yeah.
There.
What was his requirement? Moderately priced? Is that what he said?
I think so, but he also said Xbox and PS4, which I don't think there's many that do both. So,
well, as long as you got a 3.5 millimeter, it will go into any one of them. You know, I am a big Astro A40 guy. Those are my go-to. But I am here at a desk, so I don't have to be wireless. My stuff is not across, 10 feet away from me. So that's probably, for a lot of people, that's not ideal to have wires going across and stuff like that. So what I've been telling people is HyperX, Cloud 2s, Cloud X, something along those lines. They're not wireless. There will be a wire that will plug into, the controller. They can work on PS4. It can work on Xbox. It can work on the Switch. It can work on your phone. Anything that can take a 3.5 millimeter jack or input into the jack. So that would be my suggestion. And the HyperX Cloud headphones are very comfortable as well. So
So with those, are you getting like 5.1 or 7.1, or is it just stereo, or how does?
So they come in various different flavors. Some will be like 5.1, some will be stereo, some will say they're like some sort of their own way of doing 7.1 or something like that.
Oh, I guess I meant with the 3.5 jack. Because can't you only get stereo from those, or can you actually get surround sound on those?
I guess it depends on the ring. I haven't looked at the ring on the jack itself. All right, don't you have to have so many different rings on those to get the various sounds? From what I understand,
I don't know. I guess that's why I said you're the expert at this, really. So what I go for is and what actually went on sale, and kind of why I chuckled when you mentioned this, is I use cheap. They're still like $23 right now on Amazon. The brand is Sades or Sades, Sades. The model number is SA902. It's a USB connection, so it does work on PS4 and PC. It does not work on Xbox because they don't let you use USB headsets, because why not? But these things are, like I said, they're like $23. They do have 7.1 surround sound on PC because it needs drivers and stuff. But these are just basically cheap ones because I wasn't going to spend $150, $200 on headsets that I didn't know if I would like them, if they would work, or if they'd crap out or whatever. And I think these things are great. If you've listened to any of our streams, that's what I use. I got a second pair for my wife to use. So I know that the 7.1 surround sound quality is not as good as the $200 ones, but it's pretty darn close for 10% of the price. So that's what I sling and use. I don't know, Matt. What are you using?
I've got, for when I'm on PS4, I've got a set of Turtle Beach Stealth 520s that I use that are really great. They're comfortable. They're sound great and everything like that. And I think you guys can hear me pretty well. So I use those on PS4. And then on PC here, I have my old Xbox, another set of Turtle Beach. These are wired, though. I can't remember the model of them, and I'm going to take it off my head right now. But they were, when I had it hooked up to the old Xbox One, I had a little box and that to plug into with digital output and all that stuff to give me the full surround sound and all that stuff that came with it. So, but they're very comfortable and very nice to use. So.
To go back to the HyperX, Jeremy, if you're just using the 3.5 millimeter, it's stereo. If you use USB, they become 7.1 virtual surround sound.
Gotcha.
And those are $99 right now on Amazon. Very comfortable. Eric just sent us a picture on Skype of all his various headsets.
So many damn headsets.
Good Lord.
Bro, I use all kinds of headsets. But one I use the most is I use Astros. It's not the A40s. I think it's 30-something for...
A30s?
Basically. Yeah, something. I don't know what they are. They're for console. They had a 3.5 millimeter jack. And you can use them on PlayStation or Xbox, and they're awesome. And I use those the most.
Yeah, I'm a big Astro guy, and I haven't had time to sort of cover this, but I was sent a pair of A50s, I think back in the Gamers and Beta days over the summer, and we know how that ended, so I never really got a chance to talk about them. But I have been using these A50s for a while now on the PS4, and A50s are completely wireless. There's a power station base that plugs into your PS4 via optical and USB. And I have two pairs of A50s. I have the old ones and I have the new ones now. And I cannot endorse these things at all. And I know and Hale is probably throwing stuff around in his office right now or in his bedroom because he loves the A50s. But I just think for me in my office, who has a lot of consoles in here, I have TVs, 2 computers, and there is something interference that happens. And Matt and others that play with me on the PS4 at times will say, Mike, your voice has gone robotic. Mm-hmm. All right? And that only happens when I'm on these A50s. It doesn't happen when I'm on my A40s. So while they are comfortable to wear and the new design is a lot easier to control the sound and stuff, I just can't endorse them for that reason. If they're wireless and they're going to have interference, then, you know, if you can't tell that you've gone robotic and you're out there talking to people, and you know, maybe you're just in a game, people you don't know, and they're just going to think you're an idiot, they're not going to say, hey, what's up with your voice, then you're just going to sound like that for the whole rest of the time you're online. So. Yeah. And the other thing is the power base, when you put these things into the base, you know, I have a Cro-Magnon type head, right? So I'm 5'7" is the size of my head, okay? Which is like the biggest head you can have, you know, almost. So these things are stretched out. So what I have to do is I have to fold them back down, and then I have to put them into the base, and the ends of the headset are magnets, and they go into the base where there's magnets as well. But you have to shift them around until you look at the base and it turns from red to amber on the headset. And when it goes to amber, you know you're charging. So after playing the PS4, sometimes I have to sit there 5 to 10 minutes after I've played a game and I just want to go to bed to put these friggin' things on the base till that light turns amber. And as soon as I see it's amber, my hand flies off it because I'm not fucking with it anymore. I'm done with this.
So do you use headphones all the time, right, Mike? Because that was another part of his question.
If I am in my office playing games, I use the headphones all the time. If I'm in my basement or if I'm in my family room, no headphones.
All right.
Are you guys always headphones?
I find myself probably about 80% of the time with headphones on.
Mm-hmm. I never use headphones unless I'm talking to somebody.
Yeah, but you have a whole bunch.
Yeah, I have
one for every day of the week.
Because I have a whole surround sound thing going on in there, so I don't use it.
Same here.
I got you, and I want to apologize to Mr. Mafia. I thought he called in because I saw the New Mexico, but that was actually just Latino. So Mr. Mafia didn't call in this week. My apologies. So I think we just have one person left, guys.
Yo, what's up, Bad Father Figures? It's your boy Vaughn checking in again this week. I want to first give a shout out to Chaffee, I believe was his name, for the question last week. I want to answer that. When did you first know that you were old or getting old? That had me laughing, man, because I remember it like it was yesterday. It had to be when I was late 30s, early 40s, walking up to a counter, pretty little young thing behind the counter, and I'm walking up to the counter like I'm gone to dawn or something like that. You know, smiling, and she's smiling back, and I'm talking to her. I'm looking for something in the store, and I go to ask her where something was, and she tells me where it is in the store, and I go, oh, over there, right? And she goes, yes, sir. And man, the smile on my face dropped like somebody had just shot me, and I just walked off and didn't say nothing else. Anyway, you know how it is when somebody first call you sir for the first time, then you know you're old. All right, my question this week, guys. What game or series of games would you sacrifice to bring back another game or series of games? For example, it would be easy to say Madden series to bring back the 2K series, something like that. Mine would be, as much as I love COD, I would give up COD if somebody would bring out the Prey 2 that we were supposed to get. Not the Prey that we got. If you want to know what I'm talking about, check out the E3 2011 cinematic trailer. I wish somebody would bring back that Prey 2. Check that out. All right, talk to you guys next week. Have a great show. Keep doing what you do. It's your boy Vaughn. I'm out. Peace.
All right, thanks, Vaughn. So if I catch the drift of the spirit of his question, it's got to be something you enjoy. So you can't say, well, I don't give a shit about Dragon Ball Z, so that series can go fuck itself, and I want this one back. You know.
Damn.
Yeah, I know Matt was thinking that, so I just needed to clarify that there. Matt, pick something that you like that you would get rid of to bring something back that you would like even more.
Okay, I'll go with I'll give up MLB The Show.
Okay. What?
And it's not really to bring something back, but how about to get Half-Life 3?
Hell yeah, I'm gonna be on that. I'll give up Overwatch to bring up Half-Life 3.
I'll give up Overwatch to fucking feed the hungry.
But see, we can't do that, Mike. We're not doing that. We already spoke about that. We're not doing that.
I know. I couldn't resist. Fuck that.
Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, man, I'm with you though. On Half-Life 3, hell yeah.
Yeah, get that shit going. Come on.
Let's go.
Come on, Valve.
So you said Overwatch for Half-Life 3.
Yeah, and I really like Overwatch.
Mm-hmm. Now, if someone was to play Half-Life 2 right now, would it be like something totally outdated that would just doesn't stand up to the test of time?
Well, graphics wise, yeah, but I think story wise and stuff, it'd be right up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Jeremy, how about yourself?
Shit, because I was all ready to give up like Halo or something.
Yeah. There's no way to get this easy.
All right, so what I'll do is I'll say I would give up Gears and whatever they've got planned for it for the future to see what Scalebound would have been.
Whoa.
Because I mean, Gears 4 was okay. It was an improvement on 3, but I don't know if it was much of an improvement, and I don't know that they can really take it to too many other places that I'm going to give a shit about. So I think that rather than spin their wheels on trying to make that more interesting, go with the new thing that you had in place and had at least partially done. Maybe get rid of those stupid ass headphones that douchebag was wearing. But yeah, so, see, I want to see where that would have went.
I guess I would give up Horizon Zero Dawn sequel for a Witcher 4.
Oh,
and I know that they're working on Cyberpunk, and it will be a great game, but I don't know if Cyberpunk's going to be up my alley. So I know I would enjoy another Witcher game. So I would give up a new Horizon Zero Dawn for a new Witcher game.
Nice,
nice. Well, that's all the voicemails we got this week. Matt, why don't you give out the number one more time?
Absolutely. 508-659-BFFS. 508-659-BFFS.
Nice.
That's good to hear that the new guy. What was the name again?
Maximus.
Maximus, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys follow him on Twitter?
He's got a lot of hot
on Twitter
takes
for quite a while. Yeah, he does.
And he's also got a lot of games that he sells, new games that he resells. I wonder where he gets those from. He'll have to call back and let us know. I think he knows a guy. It's one of those. I know a guy.
He knows a guy.
All right. Let's jump into this and briefly tell people what we've been playing. I'll go first because I've only really been playing one new thing. Otherwise, it's just the usual COD and Fortnite and stuff like that. So I've been playing this new game called. It's not new, but it's new to me. Oxenfree. Has anybody played this?
Yeah, I've played Oxenfree
back in grade school.
What?
Jesus.
No, I've played.
Oxenfree.
So this game came out in 2016. You guys carry on. I'll just keep going. Don't worry. It's a, I guess they're calling it a supernatural mystery graphic adventure. Now, I've only played the first hour. I'm not sure. Eric, you tell me how long it is. How many hours would you say approximately?
I didn't finish it. I played about an hour or two. It's cool.
So the first hour, it was certainly not, graphically, but the first hour reminds me a little bit of Firewatch. Right, so you're going out in sort of like a wilderness area. So instead of being in the forest, you're in some sort of like cave type thing, and there's like real life conversations going on. So it had tones of Firewatch very early, but I just got to the section where it completely goes off the deep end, and it's nothing like Firewatch. So I'll pick it up from there. So far it's enjoyable. We'll see where it goes. I think another reason I thought it was like Firewatch is I was up in some sort of like command tower, right? And you had sort of radios and stuff like that.
But it's not graphically intense like Firewatch at all. Not even close.
No, it's got its own art style. It plays a little bit like Telltale games. But it's interesting. It gives you a tree. So you're at least I'm not sure if you can play as other people, but right now I'm playing as this girl named Alex, and it gives you 3 options for reply. So there's it's all very natural. It's not stiff like Telltale games where it's like waiting for you to give a response. So just during the conversation, 3 little thought bubbles will come up, and X, Y, or B are your options. It doesn't tell you X, Y, B. You can just tell the way they present it to you that's how it should be. So it's very free-flowing conversation. It doesn't feel stiff or anything like that, or forced is what I'm trying to get at. We'll see where it goes from there. It was a nice change of pace from the shooters. I played about an hour, and then I was ready to shoot more things. So,
looking at an IGN, it looks a lot different. It's pretty
oh
weird.
yeah, but just the feel I got, the tone, the way the conversation was very natural. It reminded me of Firewatch a little bit. So that's all I've been up to, other than the usual stuff. Eric, I don't see anything on your list, but I'm sure you've been playing something. What have you been up to?
I'm playing Overwatch. Like, no, I'm kidding. I played Overwatch, but that was a joke.
Feed hungry.
I played. I played PUBG, right? Mike, I don't know what happens, man, but when you get down, it was just me and this other guy. I was number 2, bro.
Uh-oh.
And I just pull a mat and freak out or something, and the dude gets me, man. And I can't never get the chicken dinner, bro. It's driving me crazy. I've been number 2
playing on Xbox?
Yeah. I've been like number 2 and 3 like 5 times, man.
Now, how many kills have you got when you got up to that point? 0 or
maybe like 2 or 3, not many.
Uh-huh.
And I usually play the hide mode.
So what happens when you get there? It's a 1v1 situation. Are you going usually prone like Jeremy?
Yeah,
or hiding behind it?
No, I'm usually prone. I think prone.
I don't think prone is the way to go, guys.
That's not a good look.
Because I didn't think you have to get up like twice, right? You have to prone to crouch to standing, right? I don't think you just go right to standing. I think it gives you two less of opportunities.
I was trying to shoot from prone though. See.
I mean, just the streams that I watch of like the big guys, they don't go prone. They get in the crouch position, maybe behind a rock, behind a tree. What they usually tend to do is go around the perimeter by the gas wall, right? Because they know that no one's behind them, that someone else has got to be across the way or on their side. So they just sort of rotate around the gas wall and then try to pick off the person that way.
I'm about to. I gotta win one, man. It's driving me nuts.
Nice. And how did you feel? Were you sick at all? Any sort of motion sickness or?
No motion sickness at all for me. No. But oh man, I just want to get that chicken dinner so bad. But I've been playing that a lot, and like I said, Overwatch, and I played some Fortnite, but not much.
Try 8 months later.
Yeah, and I got this new driving wheel. So I picked it up. I mean, I don't know why I got it, because it looked cool, but it wasn't brand new. It was like a used one or whatever. But it was a good price. And I picked it up and I played some VR stuff with it. And that shit is cool, let me tell you.
Cool as in like immersed, cool as in
immersed,
like the rumbles.
Absolutely. Oh, it has feedback and all that. It's like driving, man. 100%. Wow.
Next thing you know, you're gonna have one of those like roll cages, like with like four monitors on it and shit like that.
Yeah, my wife ain't gonna go for that. She'd be like, "Nah, bro, you're doing too much."
Those got to be like $20,000 setups.
Not good. Ain't gonna ever happen in this house.
You got like those. You're actually like inside like a NASCAR. It's got like the rumble cage and everything.
And it got hydraulics and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Those are cool. But yeah, that driving game's pretty cool. The Gran Turismo and the hell the VR one was. But Gran Turismo has like one VR mode and it sucked, and you can only race like one car. That's ridiculous.
What's up with that one car?
I know, man. I want a whole freaking. And I re-up my what is it, Xbox Game Pass thing?
Pornhub subscription?
No, not Pornhub. Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, Matt just did that too.
Yeah.
They got a lot of games on there right now. You know, some stuff if you haven't played, it's pretty decent.
So we're all going to be pirates. Sea of Thieves pirates.
Sea of Thieves, baby.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So that's all I've been doing, man.
All right. And Jeremy, how about yourself?
Oh boy! Well, I'll say the madness that was last night for Matt. I'll let him describe what the hell was going on with that. Attacking the backlog. So I've been playing some Horizon Zero Dawn. That is a really hard game for me to play and just do the main story. Like to pass up all those little icons on the map and just not go off the path. That is tough to do. But I dropped the difficulty down just so I could get through the story. I don't know how far I am. I'm just at the point where I'm learning what Zero Dawn is. So anyone who's played it,
right.
give me a heads up about how much I got left on that. I don't really know because I still have the DLC for that to go too. So I've been working on that.
I probably say I got 6 to 8 more hours, maybe 10.
Oh, okay. All right, I can get through that, no problem. Free weekend. I found that Oculus is having like a free game or a free weekend for a different game every weekend this month. The one for this one I'm not going to talk a lot about because the title of it is 11 Table Tennis VR, and it's table tennis. So or ping pong if you're one of those types. So if you really like that, I will say it's a very good simulator for ping pong. But as someone who doesn't really care about it, it didn't really do anything for me. But a lot of customization options for colors and different paddles and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. But it's good if that's your thing, then that's your thing, and have at it. One game I did play in VR that I did enjoy, and there's a video up on it on YouTube /Bad Fodder Figures, is called Brass Tactics Arena. It's a real-time strategy game, so think something like Age of Empires or Civilization or a much slower pace like StarCraft or Warcraft game. And it's basically the theme of it, or the artwork, is kind of like a steampunk fantasy type thing. So just to give you an idea, we've all watched Game of Thrones, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So you know how those towers kind of build themselves up at the beginning and opening credits. That's what this is. That's like when you upgrade your tower. That's kind of how they kind of get bigger and show that they've been upgraded and stuff like that. The units are all kind of like robotic looking things.
You said units.
Yeah, I did.
They were getting bigger.
But they were getting bigger and stronger and thicker and wider and browner. Yeah, just like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a real time strategy game. But the cool thing about this is you play on like a big open table, and you actually have to kind of drag with your hands around to move around the table. When you go to upgrade or put a tower down, you have this like pallet on your wrist, and you pick it up and set it down on there, and then you can make the units that way. And it's really cool. And the cool thing about this is the version I played, which is Brass Tactics Arena, is actually going to be free to play. The full game, which is just called Brass Tactics, that is going to be mostly single player stuff. But the free version, you're going to be able to just do a couple of the tutorial missions. You'll be able to just play against the AI either by yourself or with someone else, and you'll actually be able to play against other people as well. It's just you won't have a lot of the customization and stuff. But if you're into RTS games and you have VR, it's very, very well done and very solid. I liked it a lot.
I watched the video of that on YouTube.
Yeah, I watched it too. I watched you play it.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
very neat.
Yeah, it really they did a lot, put a lot of detail in that. And like I said, the fact that it's happening on a table, I think really, it's almost like you're playing with toy. Like the what was that shitty football game, the electric football game, where you spend 10 minutes setting up the guys for the play, and then you turn the thing and go for like 5 seconds. Yeah. It's like that. Yeah, but it works. So, it's kind of cool being able to move the units around and tell them to go there and attack that and stuff like that. So that's really cool. And then last night when we were done playing, I didn't want to get into streaming that table tennis game because I thought that's kind of a hot bag of shit. I wanted to I found a new way where I can actually capture anything that I'm seeing in VR rather than before, where if I capture just the game, some games did things differently. They would do things in a weird resolution, so I'd try to have to kind of stretch that to get it to fit into OBS to stream it and stuff. This is just a 16 or a 16 by 9 window. It's the same resolution that I'm doing everything in. It's kind of a back door that Oculus put in there that I'm glad I found. But one thing I've never been able to do because it never showed on the screen is to show the VR interface for Oculus. It's called Oculus Home. It's kind of like your own little room, and you can decorate it in different ways, or you can actually get things that are like bows and arrows or guns and boomerangs and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. So I just did it's like a 15-minute walkthrough of all the different ways that you can, the different things you can do in there, how they do achievements, the cool way where you can actually start a game by they give you a virtual like console, and you actually anytime you buy a game in Oculus Store, you get a cartridge, and you put it into the console and turn it on, and then you can just kind of virtually put on VR headsets and start the game that way. It's not a practical way to do it, and I kind of mentioned that in the video. But again, it's something that I enjoy using more than the Xbox dashboard. So I guess it's worth taking a look at, if nothing else, just for that. And then sneak peek for next week, we're gonna have VR sports ball. So yeah, we got something to look forward to.
Cool.
He said balls. That's a lot of stuff. I'm glad someone else is playing a lot of stuff. Matt, you're the last one.
Yeah, well, I'm playing lots of stuff. I'm just unfortunately playing a lot of the same stuff I do before. So but last night we did have a hell of a time. I wish Eric was involved. Did a GTA cops and robbers, sort of. And
is that what that was?
Turned into chaos at the end there, though. But oh my gosh, I don't know. I had a freaking blast playing. I about peeing myself when Jeremy was running around in the elf suit with the dunce cap, and he changed the voice on his headset to some high pitched voice or something like that. Oh my goodness!
So
it was hilarious.
Let's set the table here. So our buddy Sean, Lucky Phantasm, formerly of Gamers in Beta, he set up this GTA. What would you say? It's server 5M.
Yeah, 5M. They do servers, and one of them is GTA 5, where people can go on and they can do this role play stuff.
I have servers because I play with friends.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's more like an RP server. So you're supposed to do role playing. So if you don't go into a strip joint, there's no one there. It's just a shell of the game. So I go into strip joint, like where are the ladies?
Yeah.
And supposedly you would have, if you're going to be on this server, you could role play as a stripper if you wanted to. So we were supposed to role play as cops and robbers. We ran into some technical snafus here and there. We just got to sort of iron out. And, we really couldn't resist, beating up the cops or the cops beating us up. And we didn't really role play, so to speak. And then someone who did have access to the certain, what would you say, menu options went a little hog wild with the certain things. So.
Yeah, somehow a big 747 spawned in the middle of the city. And
weird.
Put a damn run of things there at the end.
Wow.
I was bringing airport tugs into the game and old rusty tractors, lawn tractors, all types of stuff with that. But it was just a lot of fun just going out there and goofing around. I think we all kind of had a little bit of fun there, just farting around, jumping off parking garages and ride around motorcycles and fast cars and stuff like that. But it was something.
It's a great sandbox game, especially when you can turn off the mechanics of having all the cops chasing you every time you start to do something fun like that.
Yeah, that's what it's pretty fun. Maybe if we do it again, maybe we'll try and come up with some type of scenarios or something that we'll actually go through and maybe stick by or something.
I was trying to rob those banks. It just wouldn't let me.
It just, yeah. I think if Sean gets you guys set up correctly, I think we could make this work out pretty well for us, I think.
So last night that was a test run.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I found out when I was streaming that my desktop audio was turned down in OBS. So, of course, people in my stream could not hear anybody but me. So I was just laughing like an idiot.
You need a checklist.
To everything else I do, I need a checklist too now.
See what happens? So. You're making fun of me. Oh, come over to my stream. Everything is nice and simple. Oh, no, come over to my stream. Everything is nice and simple over here. There's none of this and none of that.
That was the other night.
That's called karma, bitch. That's karma.
Yeah.
Just trying to be helpful.
I see how that But besides that, the wife and I have been watching a lot of TV here. We've been doing a lot of binge watching. One of the shows we've been doing is The Good Place on NBC.
I'll take it to the
Good Place. Yeah. Place. It was a neat little comedy show. It's a half hour long. It's about these people that died and they think that they went to heaven, but maybe they didn't, type of thing. So that's been pretty entertaining there, watching that. And there's a show on Showtime called Ray Donovan, starring Liev Schreiber, who's like this big power dude in Hollywood. He takes care of problems for you and stuff like that. So we've been watching that. A lot of fun. And, of course, I'm a big fan of the Olympics. And with the Olympics starting up this past week, I will be watching a lot of those in the upcoming weeks here, especially the bobsledding and luge and downhill skiing and stuff like that. I think those are very enjoyable to watch that stuff. So I don't know if any of you guys here watch the Olympics at all, but I'm a big fan.
I would like to. It just I don't know when anything is on. I'd like to, a lot of things you just mentioned. I'd like to. I caught yesterday a little bit of the skiing biathlon. Is that what it's called? These women just going uphill with their skis and they go down, and then I got kind of bored pretty quick. I was like, who would want to do this? It just looked like the most awkward thing ever. I was like, this can't be fun at all. And then there was some figure skating on, and I didn't watch that either.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of figure skating. My wife.
Remember how big figure skating used to be? Can anybody remember back to that in the 80s and 90s? How it was like, it was the talk that people had to tune in. You got to tune in tonight. Brian Boitano's going for this, and this person's going for that.
It's like gymnastics.
Yeah.
It's like the winter version of gymnastics. Everyone's got to watch the figure skating. But I like to watch another one. The curling has gotten huge here the past couple of years. People watching that and everything. And
because it looks so bizarre. That's
speed skating. I do like the speed skating. Yes,
speed skating is amazing. I can see, Mike. You should try speed skating.
Very, very light on my feet.
and one of them tight,
nimble,
very nimble on my feet.
I just want to see Mike in one of them tight suits.
Well, yeah, because you're a pervert.
He said that's because you're a pervert.
All right, anything else there, Matthew?
No, I'm done.
All right, we desperately got to get on to the news here. So, you sure you're done? I don't want to rush you.
No, I'm done.
All right.
Really? Okay, do you hear what he just said? He just said, why don't you, for once in your life, just do the fucking news? All right, no. I'm gonna do the fucking news. No, here is the fucking news.
All right, so this isn't in the planner here. I just found this late. I want to play a little game here, very quick. I want you guys to come up with a cartoon that would not go with the genre. So I'll give you an example. Like, you wouldn't play like a Strawberry Shortcake Battle Royale game, right?
Right.
No one would want to do that. Can you guys come up with some of those examples as well? Matt, do you have anything off the top of your head where you'd say, this is a cartoon and this is a genre? I can't picture them together.
Yeah, I can think like Fred Flintstone and like Halo. That type of, a big Fred Flintstone run around Halo trying to kill aliens and stuff like that. So, would not work.
A Fred Flintstone FPS?
Yeah.
Anybody else have any out there that they could think of?
I kind of want to see a Shirt Tails fighting game, like Street Fighter.
Oh. What are you?
Shirt Tails.
I don't know what Shirt Tails are, but
oh, Jesus.
Eric,
how about DuckTales and Diablo?
Well, I think Jeremy's the winner here because he's got the closest. My Little Pony fighting game. And I know you love your fighting games.
Oh,
all right,
man. Yeah, I'll play that.
My Little Pony inspired 2D fighting game was originally out there called MLP Fighting is Magic, but Hasbro Games shut that down a little while ago for a cease and desist order. The team came back and raised $600,000 on Indiegogo. A lot of what do they call them? Bronies?
Bronies.
Yeah, bronies.
Yeah.
A lot of bronies must have contributed to that. So they have a new game out that's coming out this week called Them Fighting Herds. All right. It is a 2D fighting game, and when I look at it, it looks like any other sort of like Street Fighter type game. It's going to be out on PC February 22nd. So if you're into My Little Pony and you like fighting games, check out Them Fighting Herds.
That Pinkie Pie would wreck shit.
And if anybody out there is listening and develops games, bring on the Fred Flintstone FPS or the Strawberry Shortcake Battle Royale.
Strawberry Shortcake Battle Royale.
Speaking of Battle Royale, we're going to combine two Fortnite stories here. Fortnite is really taking over things. People, I think, maybe, I'm sorry, Jeremy and Eric, but, some people just have tuning out. PUBG's still doing very, very well, but Fortnite seems to be killing it lately. They say there's 45 million players in Fortnite, and the other day they had 3.4 million people playing at one time. 3.4 million concurrent users at one time. So it's very popular. There's going to be some new changes, though, coming out. They admitted that some of the changes that they've made recently have caused strain on the back end, and they said it was unacceptable, so they've adjusted their schedule a little bit. But things that we can look forward to coming out is better skill balance and matchmaking. I'm curious how they're going to figure that out. They must look at your kills and how many wins and your battle pass ranking. They must have to factor all that in and sort of match you up better, which will be interesting. Of course, there's going to be new cosmetics. You don't really need to talk about that. Team communication outside of chat. So I guess that means maybe like pointing, or instead of crouch twice to give me health, there's going to be something else going on. I don't know. This one here I really like. Once you die, you'll be able to re-queue for another match. Right, so if you're in a solo game and you die, you don't have to go all the way back to the loading screen. You can just say, "Load me into another game," and I assume that's
another game. Another game like in progress.
No, like queue up for another one.
Oh, okay. All
So you don't have to go through, I guess, the loading screen and then go back to the lobby and then select what mode and everything. It's just there's going to be a way to re-queue directly.
Okay.
I guess ammo is going to be displayed differently. But more importantly here, there's going to be some new limited time modes. There's going to be a shorter mode called Blitz with faster circles. And they're going to bring back 50-50. And they're going to try to improve upon that. So kudos to Epic for always tweaking and making adjustments. I think it's a way to keep people interested.
Nice.
Speaking of Battle Royale, anybody ever here play the Stalker games? I'm not that familiar.
Briefly, yeah.
I remember hearing about them. They're pretty old.
I want to actually sit down and give one a good try, but I haven't spent more than an hour or two with any of them.
Yeah. So some of the devs that used to work on that series is coming out with, you guessed it, a Battle Royale game called Fear the Wolves. And for those who have ever listened to me on various podcasts or just seen tweets, they know that I have a sort of fascination with the surrounding areas of Chernobyl, and I would love to go there if I could just be transported. Like beam me up, Scotty.
Oh, wow.
If I didn't have to go through all the flights and actually dealing with all the logistics, if I could just be plopped there, I would be so down to go. So this is what the setting is going to be. It's going to drop players into an oppressive, radiation-ravaged Chernobyl. And it's going to have, same thing, 100 players face off type deal. There's going to be deadly anomalies in houses, dynamic tactics altering the weather system, along with a day-night cycle, constantly forces survivors to adapt their strategies, and players can find protective gear that allows them to explore dangerous off-limit zones.
So it's going to be Fortnite and a Fallout.
It's going to be PUBG and a Fallout. It's not going to be cartoony. Yeah. So,
wow.
Be on the lookout for that. It's going to be in early access pretty soon on PC. Some point this year. Last bit of news here is around PlayStation. They have an update that's coming out, and one of the cool features that I noticed, you're going to be able to hide certain games. We've all jumped into betas and alphas, and that's clogging up our library. So finally they're rolling out that. But when you look in your library now, there's going to be a PlayStation Plus tab. So if you ever wondered if you're getting a good bang for your buck and you want to see how many games that you've got from PlayStation Plus, or you're thinking about canceling it and how many games will this actually impact me, you're now going to be able to go to this PlayStation Plus tab, see how many games you've accumulated, and then you can decide whether you want to unsubscribe, keep going, things like that. So I think that's pretty cool. There's also going to be various updates to notifications. You can bring in wallpapers from your USB, background music on PS Now, quick menu enhancements, and some other features to the PS4 library name and avatar setup. But if you have kids playing on the PlayStation Now, like you do, Matthew, like I do, and Jeremy, maybe down the road, they're also introducing playtime management. Right, so you can go in there and set up and say, this person is only entitled to play 4 hours this week, And then after that, the child gets, locked out. You can set it up. This person's allowed 30 minutes a day or 45 minutes or whatever your, restriction is. So they're going to have that under family settings now.
Have they confirmed that that's going to lock him out? Because the only screenshot I saw, it said, like, Johnny played for 2.5 hours, and so he went over by 27 minutes. It's like, well, thanks, but you didn't really do anything to stop him, so...
That's a good question. If needed, the family manager guardians can apply playtime restrictions to make sure that the child is only playing for a set amount of time, often within set playable hours. Notifications on PS4 will be sent to the child during gameplay so that he or she knows that they should have save and quit. The family manager guardians also have the option to add extra game time. Yeah, so I guess it's not actually going to shut them down. Too bad. So
Yeah.
it's like the honor system. I don't know. You're talking about the notification didn't pop up.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice if it just shut them down hard.
Right. Yeah.
Boom.
Right.
I hope my wife doesn't find out about this update.
She'll shut on you. All right. Let's see. We've been going a little long here, Matt. Do you have any terrible topics you want to hold off? You want to go through one?
I do, but maybe we should hold off. The show is going long, Mike, so unfortunately we'll maybe hold off until next week.
All right. Sorry,
I've got
people that
some
are looking
doozies, though.
forward to that. Sometimes anticipation is better than the actual story itself, I guess. All right, let's wrap it up then. Shout-outs, plugs, complaints. Matthew, since you're not going to be talking with the terrible topics, why don't you go first?
Yeah, I'd like to complain that I'm not going to do terrible topics tonight. Thanks a lot, Mike. But, shit. Thank everybody that joins in the stream, watches us, Mike and myself and Jeremy and anyone that watches our streams. It's much appreciated. It's a lot of fun to be putting up stuff there for people to watch and that. And just shout all the listeners and callers in and all that stuff there. So
All the
thanks.
colors in?
Colors in. Yeah, like people that care.
It's still Black History Month.
What?
Don't do it.
Yeah. It's time for bed.
Holy smokes. All right, Eric, how about yourself?
Hey, man. Want to wish everybody happy Black History Month? No. Thanks to all the callers, man. I love that when they call in. That's awesome, man. And what? How long is it till you cut you off? I don't think people know.
It's got to be about 3 minutes.
About 3 minutes.
Three longest fucking minutes of my life.
But we love the call-ins, like everybody listening, and keep it up, and it's awesome. That's it.
All right, Jeremy.
Yeah, same stuff. Keep on calling in. It's good to hear. We had two new people, two new voices come in tonight. To Sean for putting up with us and our madness last night. I know there's a couple times I could hear the stress was getting to him. So it understandable. We're kind of idiots, but he should have known. But same stuff, same things every week. Keep on listening. We'll keep giving you something to listen to.
Nice. Well, I want to apologize to Matt for not giving him ample time. Can't blame me. Some of these callers were long-winded,
Yeah.
So I'm going to firmly place the blame on them and not myself.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Delegate, Mike.
I want to come up with the way. I have an extra code for PUBG on the Xbox. So look out for a giveaway soon. I'm going to come up with some sort of way to give that out so people can play, so the code just doesn't go to waste. Also here privately, some of us have been talking about adding some new stuff to the show, so look for some new ideas popping up here and there. I noticed, we've been doing this 16 episodes now. We talked about just getting our feet wet, so look for some new content eventually. And other than that, thanks to everybody that calls in. Matt, give the number one more time.
508-659-BFFS.
Okay, I think I and Hale should be fully satisfied now that you've given out that number, and seems like you've memorized it, that you no longer need to...
There's no excuse now for him not to call in.
Exactly. Anybody wants to join the Discord, that is tiny.cc/BFFS. Join the community, become part of it. We have a good time. Thanks again for everybody listening. We'll be back next week, episode 17, but this has been 16.
Ask you to talk, but you know the blacks, your lips locked.
Oh, good thing we're not on Twitch.
No.